Alright, before we get started here, the way that these settings are is going to be completely based off this torque reduction table in the TurboLamic software. So this torque reduction table is based on how much power that the gearbox is detecting. It's using the input and output shaft speed sensors to detect how much torque you are actually putting through the transmission. So everything is being based off of RPM versus torque. Once you reach up to a certain percentage of torque reduction, it will send a voltage signal to the ECU, and the voltage signal will be converted to a timing reduction, a timing pullback map. So if I come up here and we go to ignition and go to the analog input correction table, it will do an analog, it's a correction for the analog angle depending on the voltage that the TCU is sending to the ECU. So in this particular CAN position, analog number 3 is the voltage, and it is seeing 1 volt. So at 1 volt we're seeing -2 to -4.5. But once it sees these, once this voltage is seen, that is what you're looking for in order to activate your gear cut parameters. So the gear cut parameters, I have it set up. Analog input, external controller. The analog is the input, is the external controller is the TCU. So before you get all this situated, you should have your switchboard and everything set up, which is all the parameters you'll download from TurboLamic. So all this stuff should be set up like so. And then once these are activated, you'll be able to use the CAN switches. Once the ECU sees a signal, then you pull the switch, which is the paddle shifter or the sequential. It'll activate a gear cut, and then you'll shift to the next gear with the ignition cut timing and everything. You're going to want to make sure that you set up these parameters in the gear cut level and the duration. Default, the level is at 100%. Percentage of the cut, which is, if you have it set at 100, it's always going to be 25 milliseconds. But this 25 milliseconds is based off of how long this voltage takes to fall off. So in gears, these gears, you're going to be pulling cut level down to reduce the amount of time that the cut duration is lasting. The reason it's lower at a higher RPM or a higher gear is because you're activating more load, and under more load, you're getting higher into the torque reduction table, and the higher you are in the torque reduction table, the bigger the voltage that it's sending to the ECU, and the bigger the voltage, the longer the duration is going to last before the voltage falls off. So we got cut level down. You might have to adjust these a little bit just to depend on how fast you want it to be, and then we got duration of the cut also pulled way down depending on the gear. So with these settings, we'll test them out, see how it works. And yeah, we went through doing the testing with 100% level and then also at 100 in duration, and we've seen how that works. So we'll see how it works like so. I feel like this deja vu. We're doing our best to get this situated, this gear cut stuff. We're trying to figure out the parameters. It's a struggle, just a little bit. This is what we got to work with so far. We're working with flat shift and gear cut. We're trying to figure out this fuel issue.
I feel like on that first shift,
It feels like flat shift. That first shift didn't do anything.
well, I wonder if we're not getting enough millivolts from that output on that first shift because it's not got enough load.
Here, disable flat foot again.
Flat shift is disabled again.
Works. See, it was good up until we hit boost by gear, and then the boost by gear raised the torque reduction, and the voltage went up higher.
Yeah, let's check that and see what the...
Let's see, how can we get it to be consistent on each gear? Because those first 2 shifts were really quick. It seems like...
So that first shift was actually 870 millivolts, so it was active during all those, which we could tell, we could feel it. But then on that last shift...
The reason why it's so fast is because it activates and deactivates the second that voltage falls below the hysteresis. But the reason why it doesn't activate so fast on the higher ones is because we reach like 2 volts or something, and then there's that extra amount of time for the torque reduction to fall below hysteresis.
I mean, you can really feel the boost by gear though.
Yeah, but then the shift is longer because of boost by gear.
And the load, so the load's increasing.
So load's increasing, torque reduction is going up, and torque reduction going up increases the voltage.
Yep. So we've got a hysteresis issue.
So if I do, it's really fast in second and third. I mean, it's cool as shit.
Yeah.
It's cool as shit.
Yeah, we're just trying to get it faster.
But like the shift speeds need to be a lot more. Also, did you notice that second to third spun less because of that freaking shift?
It was way more controllable.
I lifted because I thought it was going to just shift. It was going to spin, but it didn't spin. All right, so we're just kind of sitting on the side of the road next to this pig poop place, and we're just kind of going over the log and everything, and people are driving by. It's hilarious. So they think that Ricebox is a cop. So they be coming from all the way down there, and the only thing they see on the side of the road is a car with a black front end, and it's white. So everybody is slamming on their brakes and driving by us really slow. And this is a road that everybody tries doing like 70 plus on. This guy's coming.
They're going to make you a liar and just speed up.
Okay, so he was speeding up. He definitely slowed down.
They are not going the speed limit.
We're gonna go ahead and head out before this tractor comes. I have no desire of being behind them.
Changed a couple settings here. We're hoping to get some more results. That it does it on myself.
Yeah, dude, I just let it auto shift. I was full bore right there. Also, it didn't wheel spin.
It didn't?
No, I didn't even do anything.
Felt like it was spinning to me.
Okay, so like I was saying earlier, in our P6 mode, there's a safety for a limiter. So if I achieve a certain limiter, it auto shifts. So it's a safety that is engaged just for P6. So I can full throttle
P6.
Alright, so we're in second, and if I full throttle, it'll auto shift.
Oh my god, that was crazy.
Dude, that is awesome.
I mean, the wheel speed spinning issue seems to have reduced though, for sure.
Definitely. It's like almost, that was 100% throttle the whole way.
Oh, that's great.
I never lifted. Dude, that's freaking awesome. That is so cool. Hey y'all, who cares about paddle shifter? Put that bitch in auto mode.
Let it do its thing.
It feels crazy. I can fully focus on just driving. Like I don't have to worry about anything. If we can get the gear cut to be more functional, then I can add more boost. Because like, this is literally just gate pressure. Alright, here we go, babies. We're doing another one. Actually, I wonder what happens if we do first gear. Is that unsafe? Is first gear unsafe, guys? I know first gear is useless.
It may blow your rear end out.
Alright, let's do it. First gear.
and exploding.
It was ignition. It shot the biggest plume of black smoke out the back.
Yeah, there's no chance of hooking.
Not in first, that's for damn sure.
No.
So we just raised the boost tables, or the boost by gear, per gear, by like 30%. So fourth gear will be a lot more, and then the other gears will just be even crazier. So this thing should be absolutely insane. Like, even more insane than it is. Here you go. Because boost came on so fast. Good thing we're logging that. I'd like to see what it was. All right, y'all, we're just witness to that. This car just did back to 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 back.
How many Tabascos is that?
Tabasco rips. That's a lot of Tabascos, and not a single leak. Not a single leak, not a single weird smell, not a single hic. I mean, we got the weird spark plug breakup, but I also set up the other Hellcat pump, and it came active in the middle of this pool. So right down here, we got the active and inactive. The up spikes are active for the pump, and then right when it goes active, we go full rich. So about right here, we started breaking up, and we're borderline 9s AFR. So yeah, this is 32 pounds of boost, and that was only at 80% duty cycle for the total target on boost table. So if we look at the gear scaling, we're on 60 at gear 4, 80, 80, 5 to 8. So things are ripper, man. Fourth gear did not last at all whenever we turned up the boost. Shifts are freaking butter. Those things are fast as hell. Holy crap. Alright, so I'm gonna have to, if I want to do another one, I'm gonna have to pull some duty cycle out of the gears. But it's fast, like really, really fast. So we're gonna scale it back and put it back to the way it was before. Do 30%. And then 60 and 60 again. Wow, that's freaking crazy. Holy crap. Dude, that is nuts. Like, I'm trying to shift with the sequential for everybody because people like that, but like, now it's so crazy that I feel like the paddle shifters will keep me safe. But hopefully you guys are sticking around to watch the whole thing. There's a lot of action in this one, of course. If you guys skipped to the end or somehow made it here and you didn't watch that stuff, make sure you guys scroll back through the video and watch it. Also, make sure you're watching the beginning of the video. If you skip that, then you're not going to know how to do it if you're actually trying to learn how to do it. So, yeah, we're trying to get this stuff dialed in, and once we get it all dialed in, we will make more videos and content on the 8 HP stuff for the gear cut and everything, but it is still freaking sweet. Yeah, that's going to be the end of this video, and I'll catch you guys later.